the group. Post. Post in the group. Yeah. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 5. Yajnadana tapa karma natyajam karyam evatat yajnodhanam tapaschaiva pavanani manisinam. Yajna of sacrifice, dana, charity, tapaha, and penance, karma, activity, na, never, tyajyam, to be given up, karyam, must be done, eva, certainly, tat, that, yajna, sacrifice, danam, charity, tapaha, penance, cha, also, eva, certainly, pavanani, purifying, manisinam, even for the great souls. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Acts of sacrifice, charity and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed indeed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity and penance purify even the great souls. Please repeat. Acts of sacrifice, charity and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity and penance purify even the great souls. Purport. The yogis should perform acts for the advancement of human society. There are many purificatory processes for advancing a human being to spiritual life. The marriage ceremony, for example, is considered to be one of these sacrifices. It is called Vivaha Yajna. Should a sannyasi who is in the renounced order of life and who has given up family relation encourage the marriage ceremony? The Lord, he says here that any sacrifice which is meant for the human welfare should never be given up. Vivaha Yajna, the marriage ceremony, is meant to regulate the human mind so that it may become peaceful for spiritual advancement. For most men, this Vivaha Yajna should be encouraged even by persons in the renounced order of life. Sannyasi should never associate with women, but that does not mean that one in the lowest stage of life, a young man, should not accept a wife in marriage ceremony. All prescribed sacrifices are meant for achieving the Supreme Lord. Therefore, in the lower stages, they should not be given up. Similarly, charity is for the purification of the heart. If charity is given to a suitable person, as described previously, it leads to the advanced spiritual life. So, acts of sacrifice, charity and penance, yajna, dhana, tapas, are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity and penance purify even the great soul. So, this is from the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaking to Arjuna. So, he's mentioning three things here. The yajna means to sacrifice. So we think that yajna means to do just to, we call the priest to come to the house to do the havan. And we are doing the yajna for the purpose of fulfilling our material desires. So that's not the purpose of yajna. Yajnana artha karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samacharam. The yajna, any sacrifice we do, has to be done for the satisfaction of Vishnu. Yeah. Tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samacharam. If you don't do that, you will be bonded by karma. What is karma? Karma is activity. Everybody is doing karma. Why we are here right now, why we are in this specific body, the way we look, the activities that we have we are going through, the country we are born, the family we are born to, all these are due to the past lives accumulated karma. So when we when we want to perform an action, before we perform the action, we have desire, right, to perform that action. So that desire translates into action. Once that action is performed, it will affect our life. It will determine what's going to happen. So they say for every action there is an equal reaction, right? Sometimes it's not equal also. Sometimes it's much more. Sometimes you do little, you're getting so much karma. Sometimes you're doing so much karma, you're getting less also. So it's not exactly. These laws of karma is very difficult to, Krishna says, very, very difficult to understand. So, but anyway, nobody is free from doing action. So in the Bhagavad Gita beginning, Krishna says to Arjuna, then why not you perform karma in satisfaction of me? That is why I say yajna, nartha, karma, whatever actions you perform it for me. So if you see this verse, yat karosi, yat ashnasi, yat juhosi dadasi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurusva matarpanam. Whatever you do, so whatever actions you perform, whatever you eat also, not only, everything is all encompassing. Whatever you offer or give away, charity, whatever austerities you perform, we were talking earlier, penance, tapaha, yagya, dhana, tapaha, right? So all these three are here. All these three is here. Krishna says, you do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Tat kurusva madarpanam, you offer it to me. So this, if you engage in this way, if you live your life like this is called Krishna consciousness. This is called yoga. So this is called yoga in connection with Krishna, bhakti yoga. So when we act in this way, what happens is you will not be bonded to the reaction of your work. If not, what will happen? If you are bonded to the reactions of your work, what will happen? You have to keep taking repeated cycle of birth and death. Because now you have, like you see, let me just show you this verse. Very famous verse from Bhagavad Gita. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachanaha ma karma phala heturbur mate sango astu akarmani. So what is this meaning? You have the right to perform your prescribed duty. So everybody has the right to do our duty. Somebody is an engineer, somebody is a doctor, somebody is a monk, somebody is a sannyasi. So everybody, according to our nature, we have different activities to perform, right? So in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna wanted to give up that duty. He wanted to run away. He said, why should I fight and kill my relatives? Swajhanam. Why should I kill my grandfather, my teacher? Better to be a beggar. Krishna said, that is not your duty. Your duty is a Kshatriya, and Kshatriya's duty is to protect. So in the beginning of the Mahabharata, when the negotiations were happening, Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra, so actually Pandavas, they sent a Brahmana. They were in Vanavas in Virata kingdom for 1 year, right? Agyanavas. They were hidden for 1 year. And then after 1 year, they revealed themselves as the Pandavas. So Virata kingdom, one Brahmana was sent to go and speak to the Kauravas and tell that we want back half our kingdom. What is belonging to us? Okay. So they go. Then the Brahmana conveys the message, and Duryodhana was very angry. He said, no, I will never give nothing to them. Not even a point of needle I'll give. Point of needle of land. And then Bhishmadev was raising his voice and saying, how you don't do this? And Karna and Duryodhana started scolding Bhishmadev. And seeing this commotion, Dhritarashtra said to the messenger, you go back. I will send my messenger Sanjaya to give the message. So basically he tells to Sanjaya, I want peace, I want love, I love my brothers' children. They're very nice, sons of Pandu, very dear to me. I like them so much. I also like peace. Nobody likes war. So you go and send the message. Sanjaya says, what message? You never even told me what's the message. Are you going to give or not give? Then he said, no, you see how they are talking. You see what is their mood. Then you see what you can say. But I don't want to give. So basically, this Dhritarashtra, it's like telling, I want to be liberated, but I don't want to die. Actually, in the next chapter, there's a conversation with Sanat Kumaras, the 4 Kumaras. They're talking to Dhritarashtra. And Dhritarashtra says how to get Amara, how to never get Amrita, how to always live forever. So Sanat Kumara says that if you want to live forever, you first have to die. After you die, if you practice Krishna consciousness, you get mukti, liberated, but you have to die. Then he said, no, I don't want to die. I want to remain in this body. I want to be king. I want to enjoy with my sons. At the same time, I want to be living forever. So Sanat Kumara said, no, that's not possible. So you can understand how wicked the mind of Dhritarashtra is. He wants everything for his own enjoyment and his son's enjoyment, and he wants to sacrifice nothing. Whereas the Pandavas, you can see Yagya, Dhana, Tapa, they're always sacrificing. In fact, they are supposed to have the entire kingdom. In fact, they sacrifice to a point that we just give 5 villages. Never mind, 5 villages. How much sacrificing they are. So anyway, Sanjaya was sent by Dhritarashtra to speak to the Pandavas, and in that conversation with Yudhishthira, he says, Yudhishthira, you are a very great devotee of Krishna, you are a very great soul, you always do dharma, you are always so charitable, you know what is right, what is wrong. Why not, for the sake of your brothers, your cousins, sacrifice this kingdom, go to the forest. No need to do it, no need, just be a yogi. Yudhishthira was given this suggestion by Sanjaya. And Yudhishthira said, that is not my dharma. My dharma is a Kshatriya. So you can see how Arjuna was saying, right? Arjuna out of compassion said, no, I don't want to fight. But Yudhishthira said, my dharma is Kshatriya. I am supposed to protect the people. And if I run away to the forest and sit down and do dhyana, I'm not going to protect the people like that. That is going against my dharma. All my life I have accumulated so much of dharma, and I don't have a spot, a black mark by doing this. Yeah. So you can see the mind of the mind of Yudhishthira. He was very fixed that I have to perform. Then Krishna also says, yes, they are Kshatriyas. Kshatriya is meant to do karma yoga. They're not meant to do jnana yoga. And jnana yoga is not for everyone to leave and go to the forest. Right? So Krishna also says no to Sanjaya. And Sanjaya says, no, why not think that way? You say you want to protect your citizens, but if you kill them in the war, how are you protecting them? He gave another point. How are you going to protect them if all of them die? He said, then Dhritarashtra said, do you not know if somebody dies Veera Marana, if you die in the battlefield, heroic death, fighting for dharma, you will go to heaven. So how you say I'm not protecting? I'm protecting even the person who dies. So Yudhishthira was very firm, which is why the name is Yudhishthira. Sthira means very strongly firm. And Yuddhi means Yuddha. He's very firm when battle comes. And that same Arjuna, he lamented seeing the relatives, how to fight now. Before that, Arjuna was very confident, right? So anyway, back to the point. So karma is performed by everyone. So here he says, you have the right to perform your prescribed duty. Yagya, what is it? Karmani eva adhikaraste. Adhikara. You have the right to perform your duty. Ma phalesu kadachanaha. But you're not entitled to the fruits of the action. So when we perform some karma, let's say we go and work, we get the fruits of that. When you plant a tree, what is the thing you want to get? The fruit, right? When you're doing agriculture, what do you want to get? The grains. So when you do an action, you want to get the fruits. But now here's the problem. When you enjoy that fruits without offering it to the Lord, you will be entangled in karma. Then by being entangled with that karma, by enjoying that fruit, if you eat that fruit, you keep taking birth again. You have to come another time. Because while eating that fruit, you will develop newer karmas. So the best attitude is, whatever actions I perform, to avoid karma, number one, I dedicate it to the Lord. I dedicate that action. If you see the life of Pandavas, everything they do is for the Lord. Even when the point of negotiation was happening with the Kauravas, in the end, the Pandava says, my Lord, we don't care, we can go to the forest. What you desire is important. If you desire us to fight and get back the kingdom, then we will do it. We are not going to do it for our own sense gratification. So this is called devotional service. This is sacrifice. Even Bhima, who was so angry, he wanted to kill the Kauravas, right? Even he says, Krishna, you decide what is best for us. So when we surrender the fruits of our actions to Krishna like that, that is bhakti. That is also karma yoga, and that is also bhakti. With love, you sacrifice. So this is how, of course, we don't expect everyone to just donate your salary. You need for your maintenance. But you don't do charity. You offer that salary with the work of your actions to the Lord. You come to the temple, you offer your services to the Lord. So many seva is there. Offer your time to the Lord. All this is engaging in karma yoga, right? Karma yoga with bhakti. not just karma yoga. So now next point, never consider yourself ma karma phala heturbur. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities. So once you consider that I am the doer of my actions, again you become entangled. This is another point. When Arjuna was fighting the war, Krishna says to Arjuna, you be but a tool in my seva. Arjuna didn't tell, because of me, I'm so great fighter, I'm win. No, he always give credit to Krishna. Because of Krishna only, I'm able to do this, unimaginable task of defeating Bhishma, Drona, Karna. Is not possible at all. If you see this verse, sorry. Sorry. Okay, see, Arjuna is speaking here. It is he only who withdrew the duration of the life from everyone. Okay, so two verses. So we see here, it is he only, talking about Krishna, Arjuna is saying here, who withdrew the duration of life from everyone, and who in the battlefield withdrew the speculative power and strength and of enthusiasm of the great military phalanx made by the Kauravas. Headed by Bhishma, Karna, Drona, Salya, their arrangement was expert and more than adequate, but he, Lord Krishna, while going forward, did all this. So that you see the Kauravas, and if you see the next verse also, great generals like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Bhurishvara, Sushrama, Salya, Jayatratha, and Balika all directed their invincible weapons against me. But by his Lord Krishna's grace, they could not even touch a hair on my head. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, the supreme devotee of Lord Narasimha, was unaffected by the weapons of the demons used against him. So he giving credit to Krishna. Did he say, I did it? Krishna did it. By Krishna's arrangement, not even one hair was touched. You see the Kauravas, how many massive army? 11 Akshavanis. Pandavas only had 7. Totally outnumbered. Yet, the Kauravas, if you go to we'll show you some verse from the Bhagavad Gita. So in the first chapter, as you can see, it's all talking about the arrangement of the military for fighting. So here, this is the third verse of the Bhagavad Gita. Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharyam Mahatim Chamam Yudham Drapada Putrena Tapasyena Dhimata. So who is speaking this verse? This is spoken by Duryodhana. Duryodhana, after seeing the army of the Pandavas, expertly arranged by Drishtadyumna, son of Drapada, brother of Draupadi. So Duryodhana, once he saw the 7 Akshavanis arranged by Drishtadyumna, in the previous verse he was feeling, heart was beating fast. See, what is going on? Why should he feel fear? You have such a big army. You have Bhishma Dev with you. You have Dronacharya with you. Why are you afraid? You have Karna with you. So here we can see why he is afraid. You see this verse. O my teacher, behold the great army, the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by an intelligent disciple of the son of Drupada. So when he starts the sentence, what is he saying? Pasyaitan Pandu Putranam. This is what? Look. When you are in panic, okay, let's say now, if your child is going to cross the road, you are very fearful of something happening to your child. No, you will just shout, stop. You're not going to say, my dear son, crossing the road without traffic light is not good. Car is coming very fast, slowly walk. Emergency, you have to act, right? So similarly, he is panicking here. He said, look, my dear teacher, look at that. Look at the army of the Pandavas. Why? So, number one, he has fear. Another verse, you can see he has fear. Aparyaptam tadashmakam balam bhishma bhirakshitam paryaptam tuva idam etesham balam bhima bhirakshitam. Very interesting point here. Our strength is immeasurable and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas is carefully protected by Bhima, is limited. Question is, why did he mention Bhima? Is Bhima anything related to this? Bhima is not, okay, now let's say you have to compare, when you compare things, you have to compare something similar, right? So when you say Bhishma, Bhishma is the general of the Kauravas. So the similar point is, who is the general of the Pandavas? Drishtadumna. You should mention Drishtadumna, right? He didn't mention. Okay, if you say Bhishma Dev is such a great archer, you should compare the similar level of archer who is Arjuna. Did not compare Arjuna also. If you are saying Bhishma Dev is the oldest, then you should compare the oldest here, which is who? I mean, I don't know who is the oldest, but I know Yudhishthira is the eldest brother. At least you should say Yudhishthira's name. Why he said Bhima? Because he knows he's going to die by Bhima's hand only. Because Bhima made a vow that I will kill all 100 brothers. And Bhishma also made a vow before the war that I will not touch these 5 Pandavas. I will kill every day 10,000, 20, whatever, 100,000 I will kill. I will not kill these 5 Pandavas. If you want me to fight, this is why. I will fight only because of this. So, in this verse, Duryodhana is so fearful. He's showing to Bhishma, you made a stupid vow that you will not kill them, and this Bhima is there. He's going to kill me. You understand? So all this verse is just not some talking. Everything has a deep meaning. You understand? He is actually indirectly telling to Bhishma that look at that, you better do something about this Bhima now. Because he knows he will die, he cannot survive. And another verse, if you see, so Gosho Datarastranam Hridayani Vyadharayat Nabascha Pravitim Chaiva Tumulo Bhayanudhanaya. So here he says, so after that everybody starts blowing their conch shells, So when Duryodhana was speaking in a very panic, fearful way, very fearful, Bhishma Dev saw his fear. Bhishma Dev understood. He took the conch shell and he started to blow. Sorry, actually not this verse. I think it's the previous one. I need to go to that verse where Bhishma Dev is blowing. Okay, yeah, this is the verse. So Bhishma Dev, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like a roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy. So how do you understand he's afraid here? Simmanadam vinadyochai sankam dhadamu pratapavan. So how do you know can you understand? He says he gave him Duryodhana joy. If somebody is joyful, do you need to mention that? If I'm already joyful, would I say he's joyful and now he became joyful? If I'm sad, then the next emotion that can help me go higher is joy, is happiness. So if he is joyful here, means he was not joyful before. Means he was in fear. Correct? So in these verses, we can understand how Duryodhana had so much fear. Why he was in fear? Because he is not in the side of Dharma, he is in the side of Adharma. Actually, there is a verse from the Subhashita. There's one book called Subhashita, good saying. I do not remember the exact Sanskrit, but the meaning of the verse says that if you are on the right side of Dharma, even the animals will help you. And if you are on the wrong side of Dharma, even your brother will leave you. So this is Ramayana, right? The monkeys were helping Ram. And Vibhishan left Ravana. Correct? So similarly, when you're in the side of Adharma, no matter how big your army is, your heart will still feel like something is wrong. Yeah? Something is wrong. Now let's say Let's say I'm coming out of my house, right? And I forget something in my house. No problem. Go back home, open the door, go in. Easy, right? Take my item, take my Bluetooth earpiece, come out. Imagine I'm a robber. I robbed the house and I forgot something. How will I feel going in back again? My hands will be shivering, What? Imagine I drop my NRIC, my passport inside. How I have to go and take, and my heart will be beating so fast. Why? Because if you do something wrong, you cannot escape the fear. Even Dhritarashtra, after Sanjaya goes, Sanjaya went and Krishna already told Sanjaya, you go and tell them that if you don't agree to give half the kingdom, then you expect the war will happen. Yeah? Arjuna just said two things only, 2 lines. Arjuna said, you do not need to answer to my Gandiva if you agree to peace. If you agree to peace, there's no need to answer to my Gandiva. If you don't agree to the peace, if you don't agree to the peace, also you don't need to answer to my Gandiva. Why? Because you'll be dead already. He just told this line. So Sanjaya comes back and Sanjaya scolds Dhritarashtra. You are so cruel, you are evil, you should give back the kingdom. After scolding him, Dhritarashtra said, okay, what the Pandava says, can you tell me? Sanjaya said, tomorrow I'll tell you. He said, no, why tell me now? He said, why? What is the outcome you're going to change? Let's say, you cannot change the outcome, even if I tell you tomorrow, same outcome, I'm very tired, I'm going to rest. And this Dhritarashtra cannot sleep also. And then he calls Vidura. This is where the Vidura Niti comes. He calls Vidura and says, Vidura, I cannot sleep. Can you tell me what to do? And Vidura says, why you cannot sleep, There's 4 things. I will try to remember what he said. He said, if you have a very, very powerful enemy, if you challenge somebody more powerful than you, and then you cannot sleep. Then he said, so because he had, even though Kauravas looks more powerful here, Pandavas were even more powerful because they had Krishna with them. They had Dharma on their side. They cannot lose. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurtara. Wherever there's Krishna and Arjuna, Tatra Si Vijayo Bhutire. There is full victory. So similarly, Pandavas, Dhritarashtra is showing the symptoms. He cannot sleep also. So he's a very strong enemy, you cannot sleep. If you're having so much of greed in your heart, you cannot sleep. Actually, the day Dhritarashtra lost his dharma was in the day when Draupadi was being disrobed. You know what he said? When Draupadi was getting disrobed, before disrobed, when they were playing the dice, once the dice fell, he cannot see, He was asking to the people around him, his advisor, Kim Jitam, is she lost? Is she won? So he is having a desire that Draupadi should be lost. Draupadi should become a slave. So that day when he said that day when he never protested for the disrobing of Draupadi, his wealth, what is the wealth? The wealth is dharma. This whatever wealth we have is not going to come with us. The dharma we do will come with us to the next life. You understand? Neha karma nasostik pratyavayana vidyade swalpam api asya dharmasya trayato mahato bayat. That dharma, that activity, that action that you perform for the service of Krishna, that will never be taken away. There is no loss. Even little bit you perform also is no loss. But anything material you do, everything is finished at the time of death. Let's say you have the wealth of Elon Musk. You cannot bring it to your next life. But the wealth of dharma always comes. So now, he cannot sleep because he's in the wrong side of dharma. Right? And if you are too lusty, if you have a lot of lusty desires, because when you are lusty, you want to attain that object of your lust, and then there is anger. You get a lot of anger. Then how do you sleep? If you are a thief, if you stole someone's property, you cannot sleep also. So if you analyze all this, everything he has done. Correct? So this is the point that we'll go back to the verse Karmaniya Vadikaraste. So if you want to enjoy the fruits of your actions, and when you consider yourself the cause of your results, once you consider that I'm the cause of my results, you become entangled. Now Arjuna is killing millions of people in the battlefield, but he was never entangled in karma because he was doing on the sanction of Krishna. If I take the gun and start shooting in the war field, nothing will happen to me. I'll be given medal. But if I do it for my own purpose, I come back home and shoot my neighbor, I'm going to be arrested. I mean, let's talk about even Lord Shiva, right? At the end of Pralaya, he does the Rutra Tandava. He destroys the universe, right? Is he implicated in karma? Is he? No. Is he entangled in karma? No. Because he is doing on the order of the Supreme Personality. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. He is the Guna avatar of the Lord, and he is performing that action of destruction. So, how to come out of this karma? Number one, don't offer that fruits to Krishna. Don't think that you are the doer. Correct? And never be attached to not doing your duty. And don't be like, what's the point? I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit down, close my eyes. And that is also going to give you karma by doing nothing. Because let's say if you're doing nothing, sitting for a long time, you're also feeling pain, right? Pain means karma, right? You'll feel bored, you'll do something else. So now, back to the verse 18.5. So the way to come out of this karma is another thing, how to come out of this karma. So we already discussed the karma, right? You offered your fruits to Krishna. You do karma yoga. You don't think that you are the doer. Never ever think you are the doer. And whatever activity you perform, you don't do it with your own mind. Get the sanction of the spiritual master that you are doing the right thing. Because sometimes we think that we are doing the right thing, but actually it's the wrong thing. Another way you can come out of this karma, if you don't react to what is happening. So now let's say there is a karma of somebody is going to scold you. Somebody is going to really scold you badly. And if you don't react to it, you nullify that karma. But if you react to it, then it's like playing a tennis game. You hit the ball, they hit the ball. You hit the ball, they hit the ball. Every life you're going like that. So what Bhagavatam says, Tattenu kampasu samikshamana bhunjana eva tam kritam vipakam hridvag vapubhir vidhada namaste jiveta yo mukti pade sadhayagbha. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your costless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reaction of his past misdeeds and offering respectful obeisance with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. So Krishna says, Brahma is saying here, that if you get any karma, suffering, what you do? You patiently go through it. Like how the Pandavas, patiently they waited 13 years. They didn't do anything. Right? They went through whatever they had to go through. And they didn't react to the Kauravas. Until Krishna says, you do it. They did it. So when another point, if you don't react to how you're being treated, you don't accumulate karma. So 3 points, understand? Three points are there. Don't think you're the doer. Don't enjoy the fruits to yourself. Offer the fruits to Krishna. And number 3, be tolerant. Tapaha. Yagya, dhana, tapaha. This is where the word tapaha comes in. Tapasya means to tolerate all these difficulties that we are going to face in life. And patiently waiting. Because something happens bad, right? One day it'll become good anyway. And something is good will become bad anyway. So life is like that. So why worry whether this is good or bad? Happiness. There's two dualities, no? Sukha, dukkha. Happiness and duality. There is pain, pleasure. It's always coming and going. And if you're not, see, when we show you this verse, if you don't bother about it, of course, it's not easy to be not bothered about it. It's a very high level. Only if you're a devotee, you can do this. Only if your mind is fixed on something higher, you can not be bothered. Tasyeva heita prayateta kovita nalabjade yad brahmatan uparyadaha tallapyate dukkhavatanyata sukham kalena sarvatra ghavira ramhasa. Person who is actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purpose. Purposeful end, which is not attainable even wandering from the topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet Patala. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be automatically obtained in course of time. So this is the point. Happiness will come. When there is a down, there is a up. So you should not be bothered about this. Just as in course of time, we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. Anybody desires the misery? Nobody desires misery, no? Did you go to temple to pray for misery? It comes, whether you like it or not. This is the duality of the material world. And if you're not bothered about this duality, then what happens? Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochate na kankshati sama sarvesu bhudeshu mad bhaktim labate paraha. One who transcendently situated at once realized Supreme Brahman, and he becomes fully joyful. Na sochati na kankshati. He never laments, nor desire to have anything. This is the platform of a devotee. He is neither lamenting nor he is desiring anything. Sorry, right? If you are on this platform, then you're not going to be disturbed by the laws of karma. He is equally disposed to all towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service to me. By engaging in the service of Krishna, only this is possible. You understand? So, back to today's verse, Yagya, Dana, Tapa. Why the verse is not coming? So strange. Huh? Sorry. So actually, yes. So now we want to ask you a question here. So there's Yagya, Dana, charity, and Tapaha, penance. So now my question to you, which you think is better? Which is higher? Dana, performing charity, or going through austerities? Tapasya. Huh? What do you think? Some answers? No, these two things only. Just comparing these two, Tapasya or Dhana, which is better? Tapasya? Everybody saying Tapasya. So now let's go to Mahabharata. In the Vana Parva, where Yudhishthira is talking to Vyasadev. So Yudhishthira is in the forest for 13 years. He's patiently suffering with the brothers, yes? He's always regretting his actions. Why did I gamble? Why did I gamble away my wife? He's always feeling that. Why we are going through this? So what happened? Yudhishthira is very fortunate that in the forest all the rishis comes. So many rishis comes and talk to him. So if you think about it, whatever he went through in the forest was good only, because he became a better king listening to all the advice of the sages. So one day what happened? Vyasadev came, and Vyasadev was talking to him. And Vyasadev, he was asking the same question to Vyasadev: what is better, tapasya or charity? So Vyasadev told, tapasya is very good, because tapasya means to do something that, now you see, I like something, but I purposely forego that pleasure to attain Krishna. Like let's say I like to watch so many Instagram or TikTok. wasting my time scrolling. But I force myself, no, I'm not going to watch this. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to read Bhagavad Gita. That is tapasya. If I accumulate so much of penance to attain Krishna, I go through voluntary suffering. So another way to exhaust karma is also you go through voluntary suffering. And how to go through voluntary suffering? Actually, we are not even suffering as devotees. We are just telling you, don't eat meat, don't intoxicate, don't gamble, don't have illicit sex. It looks like very difficult to give up, right? But actually, it's easy. Once you start chanting, it's easy. So if you follow these 4 principles and you chant Hare Krishna mantra, there is also tapasya. So by doing tapasya more and more, we elevate to the mode of goodness, sattva guna. When you come to sattva guna, then only you can understand this knowledge. If not, you cannot understand. Waking up early in the morning, Brahma Murta time, is all tapasya. The more tapasya we do, the more we actually, we please the Lord. And the more the Lord is pleased, the more we attain the transcendental position of Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. So now he says that yes, tapasya is good, no doubt. Very, very highly. See, I'll show you another verse. Durapahi alpa tapasam seva vaikunta vartmasu yatropagiyate nityam devo dhevo janardana. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan. Okay, so he says here, person whose austerity is meager, if your tapasya is very less, you can hardly obtain the service of the pure devotees who are progressing in the path back to the kingdom of Godhead, the Vaikunthas. Pure devotees engage 100% in glorifying the Supreme Lord, who is the Lord of the demigods and the control of all living entities. So you understand, if you engage in tapasya, you can get the opportunity to associate with devotees. And if you associate with devotees, what happens? Satam prashangam mama virya samvito bhavanti hritkarna rasayana kataha tad joshana rasav apavarghavartmani shraddharatir bhaktir anukramishati. Said in association of pure devotees, the discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is fixed in his attraction and becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begin. So when you associate with devotees, you will listen to the discussions of the pastime of Krishna. And when that pastimes and discussion, the nectar of Krishna Leela enters into your ears and goes into your heart, you become totally purified. You become free of sin and all these karmas. And so basically by tapasya only this is possible, by doing tapasya. Okay? And then you get liberated. You come out of this cycle of birth and you engage in the service of Krishna. So now the point is, back to the point, tapasya is very good, Vyasadeva says, but dana is higher. Why? So dana means not just making donation. Dana means that tapasya which you have accumulated so many years. Let's say you take so much tapasya to work, right? Hard-earned money. You take that money and you donate it. Right? Of course, you have to know who to donate to, where to donate to. If you go to the Bhagavad Gita, charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time, place, and worthy person is considered to be the mode of goodness. So when you do charity, that means your accumulated tapasya, you give it as dana. That is higher, according to Vyasadeva in Mahabharata. So that charity also has to be given to a person who is qualified at the right place, at the right time. It should be done for someone who is, basically the charity is usually given to the brahmanas. Why Brahmana? Because the Brahmana will not misuse that money. He will use what is necessary for his. I'm not talking about Kali Yuga Brahmana, I'm talking about real Brahmana. They don't even work. They don't even work. They'll take some charity from people, the patan patan yajan yajan. They take charity and they give charity, and then they use that money for their basic maintenance, and they use their time to educate people about the supreme absolute truth, Krishna. So for such person, if you give the dana, then you get the results. If you give dana to someone who doesn't deserve it, then you also entangle. You do some mundane material activity, mundane material charity, yeah, very good. You get some pious activity, but that will not give you the ultimate liberation. It will entangle you. It will still entangle you in. So you have to give to something which is the highest cause. And also you must give without expectation. Sometimes I give something and I expect, okay, this person will give me something back next time. That is not like in Mahabharata when Arjuna was fighting with one Gandharva, Chitrasena, and Arjuna defeated him. And then Chitrasena said, Arjuna let him leave. Okay, Naman, I'll leave you, let you go. And Chitrasena said, I want to give you something. He said, no, then that is not charity. If I take something from you, it's not charity. I cannot. So of course he will give in another way. He will say, Naman, you take this power from me. You can see the Gandharvas. Because when Gandharvas fight, you cannot see them. So Arjuna had the power from Chitrasena. So anyway, and also when you give the charity, it has to be the best thing. It's not like, okay, like me, I came back from India trip. So I gave some devotees some items. So after that, I had nothing to give. Of course, I had some good dhotis to give. But then I went to my cupboard, I saw the dhoti which I'm not using, I gave that one. So that is not real dana, no? So that is not the highest dana. The highest dana is when you accrue the tapasya and you give it. So another verse we can see. In the opinion of expert transcendentalists, that the ultimate goal of performing all traditional good works, penance, sacrifice, charities, mystic activities, trance, is to invoke my satisfaction. So whatever tapasya you do, whatever dana you do, whatever sacrifice you do, yajna, it has to be for the satisfaction of Krishna. So now we have understood that this is the dana that we have to do. So now I will narrate a story that Vyasadeva spoke regarding this point, dana and tapa. Okay. So there was a rishi named Mudgala. He's a very, very nice, very, very austere tapasvi, very, very austere, very charitable. He has a family. So you know what he does? He always eats only every 15 days. On the Amavasya day, he will eat. On the Purnima date, he will eat. Understand? So what he eats, he doesn't eat normal food like us. When you are making rice, right? When you're beating the rice, we take out the husk and we eat the grain. So what he will do, he will collect the husk. He won't eat and the husk also, not the husk, which is, sometimes the husk will fall down, the insects will eat. Even that one also he won't take. If he sees the husk nobody is taking, that husk which nobody takes, which is totally discarded, he takes that one. He collects that husk, and because if you want to find that kind of husk, it takes time. 15 days will go by, every 15 days. So how much tapasya he's doing? He doesn't eat, No eating. 15 days. Can we do that? So that is tapasya. And after 15 days, he'll collect everything in a pot, this much, one drona, I call it drona, right? And then he will offer it. Of course, his whole family also do, not only him, his family also, his wife also follow the same dharma as him. He will offer that to the Lord. So very important. Yakyasista sinas santo muchyante karma kil vishayi. Bunjante dvagham papaya pashyanti atma karanat. Very important. Whatever we eat also, yat karosi yat asnasi. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sin because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. So how to sacrifice? We have to offer even the food to the Lord. It becomes prasadam. If we eat something without offering, we also become entangled in that karma. So others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. So what happens? He offers it to the Lord first, and then he will give as charity. That much, very less rice also he'll give charity. People will come and ask. Because who comes? The demigods, the devatas, they come. Devatas say, if we eat this kind of tapasya filled food, which is full of Suddha Sattva, we will get so nice longevity. They understood the power of this person. He was drowning, not drowning, he's engulfed, he's full of Suddha Sattva. He was the three modes of nature, Tamaguna, Rajoguna, Sattvaguna. Sattvaguna fully, that kind of person. That's why he's so determined. He's not even worried that he's hungry or not. So like that, he used to eat. He'll distribute first as dana, then he will eat with his family the remaining portion every 15 days. So one day, this Durvasa Muni heard about it. Durvasa Muni, he's a rishi who's always, people are scared to offend him because he'll curse. So Durvasa Muni came, and then he came and said, on the day of Amavasya, I think that, or Purnima, I don't know, he came on that day. He said, can I take some of your husk? He said, yes, sir, please. Because he wanted to serve a devotee. He's very happy that a rishi came, sit down, he served him. And every time he was eating, he got more hungry. And Durvasa said, give me more, give me more, give me more. And he ate so much that everything finished. And when everything was finished, this person, Mudgala, has nothing to eat. And he was not worried at all. He was not angry at all. He was very happy that, oh, you ate nicely. Are you happy with my service? It's a great fortune we can serve you. So, anyway, it's okay. I think we've got not much time. So now, I wanted to show a verse, but it's okay. There's a lot of verses there. So now he had no food now. 15 days he didn't eat. For the next 15 days, he has no food. You know how many times Durvasa came? He came 6 times. So how many months is that? 3 months. 3 months without food. And each time Durvasa comes, he's always looking at his face and seeing whether this guy will get angry or not, whether he'll curse me or not, whether he'll feel frustrated or not. One meal we skip, right? We experienced it in the pilgrimage, right? One meal we skip, we cannot take it. We get very angry. Of course, we are not in that level of Mudgala. But you just see how 3 months of not eating, he and his family. And finally, the next time again, Durvasa Muni came, and Durvasa was very, very, very impressed. And she said, I'm very pleased with your tapasya, your dāna, your yajna, everything. Yapya dhana tapakriya. All of them, I'm very impressed. I want to give you benediction. I want to bless you that you will go to heaven. So the plane came, and Mudgala went. And all the people around, because they are eating his food, they also became so pure in consciousness. They are not jealous. When we see somebody doing better in in life, we will say, oh, this guy, why? When Sanjaya came to see Pandavas to speak the message, right? Yudhishthira asked, how are my cousins doing? How is my grandfather doing? How is my uncle doing? How are they? Are they well? You know how the Kauravas asked for the Pandavas? Why are they well? This is the difference in consciousness. So similarly, the plane came, everybody was saying, oh, he deserves it. Because of his goodness, pure goodness, he's going to heaven now. So let's all, pray, let's all be happy for him. Let's all pray that we also one day, by following his footsteps, they got encouraged to follow his tapasya, so they also can attain. So now here's the funny thing that happens. The heavenly plane comes, Mudgala goes to the plane, and he starts talking to the heavenly plane driver. He said, where are you bringing me? He said, I'm bringing you to heaven. So, oh, what is heaven? Can you describe to me? Where am I going? What is the place? So he said, heaven is so nice. You enjoy a very long life. You don't get old. You don't get disease. You don't have armpit odor. You don't need to buy deodorant. You don't need to shower also, like perfume, your body will smell. When it's very hot, your body will feel cool. Your eyes doesn't even, no need to blink also. You're always floating in the air. There is no smell at all. You don't fart also. So all the good things he's telling. Heaven is so nice. No need to work also. No need to wash pots also. No need to wash clothes also. Everything good. He said, okay, you told everything nice. I like it, very nice. But tell me, what is the disadvantage of going to heaven? He said, why are you asking this question? No, I want to know. There must be one good means there must be bad. No. He said, okay. So only bad thing in heaven is, after your punya is finished, you have to come back down again. All you enjoy, but after you come back again. You see the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, taking so long. Yeah, what is happening? So anyway, it says in the Bhagavad Gita, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. So once you go to the highest planet of the Brahmaloka, up to Brahmaloka also, after your life, the long life is finished, what is going on? Okay. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and results of their pious activity are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. So even if you go to heaven, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punara Vartino Arjuna, you have to come back again. Whereas, Mama Peritya tu Punarjanma Dukkale Masasvatam. Once you go to Krishna, you'll never come back again. That is the difference. So when Mudgala heard that this place, once you go there, you have to come back again, he thought, hold on, let me see if this is going on. So he thought that, what is the point going to a place? I did so much tapasya all my life. Why should I go to a place, enjoy all my good karma and then come back again? I don't want to go. He said, my dear sir, thank you for your proposal to bring me to heaven, but I don't want to go. He said, oh, why you don't go? I told you all good things, but there is one bad thing. He said, you don't see the bad thing, He said, no, that bad thing is good enough to not go there. So he's very intelligent. Then immediately Durvasa came again. Durvasa said, I am very impressed again by your decision. He said, yes, I purposely arranged this test for you to see whether you will accept or not. And it's very good. You never accepted this temporary pleasure in heavenly planets. Then he asked Durvasa, can you tell me where I can go, that I can go and I never come back again, where I am always eternally living in the service of the Lord? Then Durvasa says, Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Param Pada Sada Pashyanti Suryaha Diviva Chakshuratatam Tat Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagrivam Satadvimpashe Vishnu Yat Paramam Padam. That Paramam Padam, that is Vishnu's place. And Sada Pashyanti, all the devatas, they are looking at the lotus feet of Vishnu. You must go to that loka. Then he said, you actually qualify to go there because of your tapasya, your offering of food for Krishna every day, Vishnu. Because you're always offering. Because you're always eating prasadam, before always sacrificing for the Lord, always doing charity on the name of the Lord, you will not come back, you will go back. And everybody was very pleased with this. So we can understand here how important food is in our practice. our devotional life. If you see the verse here, where is that Ahara Suddho, the purport? Yeah, so you see this verse, Ahara Suddho Sattva Suddhi, Sattva Suddho Dhruva Smriti, Smriti Lambe Sarva Grantim Vipra Moksha. So what is the meaning? Ahara Suddho, Ahara means what you eat, right? By one's performance of yagya, one eatable becomes sanctified. So when you offer the food to the Lord, it becomes suddhi, very clean, very pure. Sattva Sutta Dhruva Smriti. When you eat such sanctified foods, your existence becomes purified. You come to the mode of goodness. And by purification of existence, finer tissues in memory become sanctified. Your intelligence becomes sanctified. Dhruva Smriti, Smriti Lambe. And when memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation, Vipra Moksha. Just by eating food, just by offering that food. So if you cannot offer so much charity, also even you can offer the food that you cook for the Lord. People think that food has nothing to do with spirituality. This story can see how it's not true. You are what you eat. What you eat will determine how you become, what you become, what destination you attain. So we have to offer it to the satisfaction of Krishna. And of course, we have to offer vegetarian food. Right? The Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita 9:26. Patra pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachate tadaham bhaktya apartam asnami prayatat manaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, fruit or water, I will accept. So you cannot win Krishna with any offering which is devoid of yome bhaktya. With bhakti only you must offer. That's why when we offer prasadam, we also put tulasi leaf there. Why? Because tulasi is one of the greatest devotee of Krishna. So we are hoping that with her bhakti, we can attract the Lord. So Krishna says here, unless it is offered with devotion, he will not accept. You know, this when Krishna went as a messenger to see the Pandavas, to see the Kauravas, you know, when Kauravas rejected all the proposal, Krishna went finally. He said, "Neman, I will go as messenger, Supreme Lord, the Parabrahman. Krishna is coming as messenger for Pandavas." And you know what Dhritarashtra he plans? He plans that I will give thousands of cows, thousands of elephants, thousands of maidservants, gold, silver, jewelry, so much quantity. He was telling the Vidura, I want to give this. And Vidura was saying that if you can give so much to Krishna like that, you can give 5 villages, you know. The 5 villages are less expensive. so Dhritarashtra said, no. So then Vidura said, you think the Lord will be attracted by your 1,000 elephant, 1,000? He doesn't care. He has everything. Why he needs anything from you? He's Purnam, Om Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purna Udashyate. He's complete. Why would he need anything, 1,000 elephants and 1,000 lions from you? But if you offer him with devotion and love, when he comes to you, when you call him, you know, you do arati for him. Yeah? Rati means what? Attraction. Arati means to get so much attraction for the Lord. That's why we perform arati. When you offer prasadam, when you offer the bhoga to the Lord, it becomes prasadam. Offer out of love, that is what attracts you to him. That's what attracts him to you. So you can see how important the food is. And Krishna he rejects even Duryodhana. Duryodhana ordered, he did a big catering, you know, so much food for Krishna. And Krishna said, I will not eat from you. Why? He said, you are my enemy. So how am I your enemy? I am enemy with Pandavas, but you are not in the... He said, who is the enemy of my friend is my enemy. Who is the enemy of my devotee is my enemy. So you are my enemy. If I take food from you, then I have to owe you something. I don't owe you anything. So you see how Krishna is so Bhakta Vatsala. And Duryodhana was burning. Oh, this Krishna, I will catch him tomorrow, you know. So Krishna, after he went to Vidura's house and he was eating the banana, Vidura was so much absorbed in devotion, Vidura did not even know what he's giving to Krishna. He was giving the peel of the banana. And Krishna was eating. Bhishmadev was giving arrows. Krishna was accepting it as flowers. Why? Because Bhishmadev was giving it with love and devotion, bhakti. So Krishna can even accept arrows, provided is given with devotion. And Krishna, we'll finish very soon, is not going to, if he becomes, he will not like to be a debtor. If he owes you something, he will make sure he will pay back to you millions of times. You understand? So when the Sanjaya was leaving, Sanjaya was there, and Sanjaya was going to leave to report the message to Dhritarashtra. Krishna says, you come and see me privately, personally. Come and see me. So Sanjaya was thinking, oh, I'm so lucky today I can see Krishna alone. What am I going to see? Sanjaya knows this is the Supreme Lord. So Sanjaya goes there, and only the messenger, the guard says only Sanjaya is allowed. Even Pradyumna is not allowed. Aniruddha is not allowed. Satyaki is not allowed. Only Sanjaya is allowed. Come in. Sanjaya goes in. Krishna is sitting down, lying down. Arjuna is massaging his feet. Then he could see the Sankha Chakra, all the different symbols on the Lord's feet. Then after that, he saw Arjuna also was not wearing his chadar. And he saw the Arjuna's shoulder, he was holding the Gandiva and he's shooting the arrows continuously. That, the muscle was so thick and so deep, the lines. He got so afraid. Say, wow, the Kauravas are finished just by seeing the shoulder of Arjuna. So like that, he was massaging his feet, and Sanjaya came in. And Arjuna said, why do you ask this Sanjaya to come here? And Krishna says, because he is very pure-hearted. He is full of sattva guna. That's why I'm asking him to come and see us. Nobody can come and see like that. Nobody can come and see you doing this service for me. Of course, Draupadi was there. Subhadra was there. So then Sanjaya said, how can I be of service? And when he saw this, he was because why Krishna chose him? Because anything Sanjaya sees, he will tell to the king exactly. Because Krishna wanted him to put Dhritarashtra in panic mode. Because he's going to tell, oh my God, I saw Arjuna's shoulder, I saw Krishna in this form, better don't fight. Right? So like that, Krishna stood up and started talking to Sanjaya. And he said, do you know what he said? He said, do you know, I don't like to be a debtor. That day in the Kauravas, the gambling day. When Draupadi was disrobed, she called my name Govinda. And I'm yet to fulfill the debts that I owe her. So you tell Dhritarashtra and party that no one is going alive until that debt is finished. Until I'm not resting until everyone is finished. Then Sanjaya got so afraid. So you see how the Lord is Bhakta Vatsala. He will not let go of his devotee at any time. And when Sanjaya came back, he told to Dhritarashtra, I need to tell you this. He was really panicking and he was crying. He said, don't fight them, please. This is what Krishna told me. You think this is a fight between two families? No, this is a fight where the Supreme Lord himself has decided that you all are finished. He has arranged this battle to destroy all of you all. Don't do this. You see? This is the power of Krishna. So yagya, dhana, tapak, everything you do, your charity, your dana, your tapasya, your karma, all these things you do towards Krishna, and he will, yes, he says, sarva dharman parityaja, mam ekam saranam, aham tam sarva papebhyo, don't be afraid, I will take you away. Rama says, sakra deva prapanno yastavasmiti sayachate, abhayam sarvada tasme, dadami vratam mama. He said, I award you fearlessness if you surrender unto me. If today you call me, oh Ram, I'm yours, I award all fearlessness. So please do this. Try your best. And how the tapasya can start, how this whole thing starts. Today itself, try to take by the beats and start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. This is the yagya for the age of Kali Yuga that you have to perform. So start chanting at least. Start chanting. Start reading the books. Get knowledge. And see how you can engage in the service of Krishna and come out of this material world. So we will stop here. Any questions? Okay. So there's no questions. We'll stop here now. We'll have a final arati followed by prasadam. Jai Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita.